What up, YouTube? I'm not sure how this is gonna work out with the signal, but we'll give it a go. I hate being I dislike being rushed in the morning. I fell asleep last night before I could make my sandwich for lunch today. And then I woke up. Usually I try to at least have like an hour and a half before I head out of the house. This morning I woke up, hit the snooze button twice, which I probably shouldn't have done looking back in hindsight, but still made it to the gym. Worked on a back and shoulders today. And here we go, off to work. It's supposed to rain today, so we have some inside work today that we're jumping off on. But I haven't done an early morning live in a while, so we shall see who shows up. I know Rocky Strong's on the way to the weight pile right now. But it's funny, like, what I'm beginning to realize through this journey of change is that it doesn't come overnight. Like, yes, you can catch motivation and get all pumped up and stuff for change, but it's really the small, little, consistent things that make a big difference. And just those little changes, but remaining consistent with them. That's what matters the most. I always forget to put all comments. But I've been chatting with this guy who's at the gym every morning. He's kind of like getting ready to leave as I'm leaving also. So I said to him this morning, I'm like, I wish there was more time in the morning because the gym doesn't open up until 5. And then I have to be on the road till 6. At 6 to make it to work on time. It's about just under an hour drive, depending on traffic. Sometimes traffic can get brutal around Boston. But it's like, I'm finding that a lot of the times I overwhelm myself by setting high standards and then becoming discouraged with those high standards. There's nothing wrong with setting high standards, but they have to be within reach and maybe further away than I realize. Like, I need to walk before I run, so to speak. What's up, Tommy? Good morning, brother. Yep. So I'm staying on the North Shore and then driving into Boston. Well, not actually Boston. We've been working in Lexington, which is right next to Concord. But there's so much money out here, it's insane. Like, the amount of money that people are spending on houses is pretty crazy. But with that being said, there's more money to be had. And money is not my main goal. Yes, I need money to survive. Yes, I'm finding that to be able to maintain the healthy lifestyle that I want to maintain, it's not cheap. At all. Like, I've been cutting sugar out of my diet as much as possible, which reminds me I forgot yogurt at the house. My yogurt, but no big deal. I got plenty of food with me. I've been eating a ton. How's the new crew? They're all right. So there's three guys who have been there for quite some time. I work side by side with one of them. He's a little rough around the edges, but it is what it is. And he smokes cigarettes, so that's kind of tough on me, but because I'm quitting cigarettes. I've quit cigarettes. Last Friday, I bummed a cigarette off of him. It was a Marlboro Ultralight, so it's not like it was a Newport 100 no more, but still, I'm justifying the fact that I went back on my word at one point, but it's in the past. It is what it is. And by going to the gym more often, I realize that it helps me with the motivation to stay smoke-free. Like, I try to do 15 to 30 minutes on the treadmill, depending on how much time I have at the end of the day, at the end of the workout. So, if I was to continue smoking, I wouldn't be able to go from walking to jogging to running on the treadmill. Other than that, there's a new kid who just started and he's got a great attitude, but he's got a lot to learn. And I'm not judging him by any means whatsoever. I see a lot of myself in him when we started off. And by kid, I mean like he's probably in his early 30s. He's really not a kid. But the person I'm working for, the owner of the company, he's a good dude. Direct deposit. Shows our pay schedule is kind of weird, but we get paid every Friday. That's what matters the most, right? Is like being paid on time, people showing up to work. There's another guy who just had 2 kids who is now working part-time. He works like Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, or so. He works 3 days a week so that he can spend time with his kids, which I think is awesome that the boss allows that, you know? Congratulations. Most of the time, people like to talk crap in the comments, so I'm not going to pray for you, but I wish the best for you. I got enough people that I pray for that are on the up and up and are actually trying to do the right thing. That negative, like, that's another thing if you want to talk on the topic of negative energy and stuff. If it doesn't align with God and what I am doing in my life and trying to better myself, I want nothing to do with it. Like, my music has changed, the type of music that I listen to. It's a transformation in the positive direction. I trained a younger years ago. He couldn't set up a ladder. Yeah. It's awesome to see people that overcome the odds that you're like, oh man, this person's never gonna get it, you know? But I find that motivating when people like say that I'm never gonna get it, that you know, everyone gives up on me or whatever. That's just motivation to keep on pushing forward. And I find motivation from other people that continue to push forward. No days off, that type of shit, you know? And then in turn, people get motivated by me. Like, I can't tell you how, there's been a few people lately who have said that, like, me talking about my relationship with God and Jesus has in turn caused them to go back into scripture and get reinvigorated in their relationship with their spirituality. It's kind of like the saying, what goes around comes around. we were talking about, I was talking about that to this kid. It's crazy the amount of kids that are no longer willing to roll their sleeves up and get dirty and work, and they think they're above certain jobs, digging holes just to put dirt back in them, right? They'll be humbled eventually. I started my construction career a year before the first recession hit in the mid-90s. We had 1 year where we were just like tons of work. Things couldn't have been better. I heard about how good the market was, and then the recession hit. And it was a humbling experience because I had to go out of my comfort zone to find work. Go do tree work on the side. Go dig fence poles by hand. And scraping the bottom of the barrel just to get enough to get by. And life will do that to you sometimes, and you got to smile through the pain of the rain. Like today, it's supposed to rain, so we're going inside to work. I'm not bummed out about that. I'm excited that I have a job to go to. It took a while for me to find employment this time. I applied to a whole bunch of different places. I applied to this concrete masonry company that built forms off-site, and they were looking for laborers. And when I applied, they were making forms for Logan Airport. And the guy said, he's like, had you been here a week earlier, I would have hired you on the spot. He's like, but all the positions are filled, even though they had a sign out front that said now hiring. You know, that's what brought me in. Sometimes those signs are meant for other people, I guess. Whatever works and makes you happy, we're learning every day. I started Catholic and kept rising. My religion is love, if you will. Exactly, bro. I think I started Catholic as well, and that's been kind of a topic that I've been having with, a topic of conversation that I've been having with people. But I became disenchanted with the Catholic religion after one of the priests was caught kitty diddling at the church that I was at. That was a detriment to my spiritual process and probably strayed me away from my spirituality for quite some time. I used to attend the same Catholic church school. Ended up going back to public school after about 3 or 4 years. And about a year after my first year at public school, I got my first DUI when I was 16 years old. Didn't even have my driver's license. Looking back in hindsight, that was me being pushed in the wrong direction. I don't think about what could have been. I think about what I could do now. Yesterday was a gorgeous day, by the way. It was like 73 degrees when I left work. Wearing shorts, wearing a t-shirt. Didn't have shorts with me though. But I think spring is right around the corner. Yeah. But that's the thing, like, if you really think about it, that could go on, and it's not the specific religion, it's the way that they handle it and try to cover it up and not be transparent with it, you know, and try to keep it under wraps. It keeps people, I understand that the intentions are good to try to keep people in the church, but it's not. In this day and age, what you don't know can't hurt you. That doesn't apply because there's so much information out there that eventually the truth is going to come out. I think that's part of the reason why I've been so transparent with what with my life. People will say it's oversharing. I tend to disagree because I remained behind the mask of addiction for so long that the only way out of that was to go the exact opposite direction. Yo, you're gonna get me in an accident. That's crazy. That's another thing too. People are crazy drivers around here. Here comes the rain. Justice 333. So there's a Justice with an exclamation point. He's got a bunch of face tattoos. I think he's maybe blonde haired. He makes music as well. I had been following him for a little bit and listening to him. I might have even shared one of his videos or something. I don't know. It might be the same person that we're talking about. That's him? Yeah. He put out a music video recently where he had like green on his eyes, right? Yeah. Or not recently, maybe a week or two ago. Yeah, I've been listening to him for probably about a year now. Not on the regular, but he goes live and stuff. So I ended up finding his channel quite a while ago. He definitely knows what he's talking about. He's talked a lot about the spiritual warfare and stuff like that. And I can definitely relate. That's cool that we're on the same page with that. So I haven't really been watching YouTube that much lately, or having time to go into people's live streams and actually listen. Like, I'll stop in every once in a while. Yesterday morning I was on the treadmill doing my thing, and Rocky went live, so I stopped in, said what up to him. But I also, in this transformation, have realized how much toxicity there is out there. And I'm not innocent from taking part in the toxicity myself either. Like, I think I didn't even know what direction I was heading in at sometimes, you know? But that's the thing. It's okay to fall down as long as you're willing to pick yourself back up and not dwell in that down position. That's what I'm finding out about myself, is that for a long time I was stagnant in the negative. I'm never gonna get clean. I'm never gonna do this. That's just I don't even know the word for it. You're setting yourself, so layman's terms, setting yourself up for failure if you talk like that. And I talked like that for a long time, and it's the voice in the head, like the narrative that the voice paints in my head. I needed to switch up, and instead of having that negative self-doubt all the time, just go to pause it. Why are you shining your high beams, bro? Shine light in the darkness of my head. Like, stopping smoking cigarettes, cutting way back on weed. Like, I barely even smoke a joint a week now, if that. Sometimes I don't even smoke at all. I think that for me to find my full potential, I need to be 100% clear-headed. But on the flip side of that, there's a lot of energy that I need to expel out of my body, and the gym helps with that, work helps with that. Like, whenever I tell the peoples at work that I'm going to the gym in the morning before work, they're like, "You're crazy." Good, I'll stay crazy. I know where I'm headed. Thank you for that, me. I'm also trying to work on that self-esteem thing, but it's a process. I gotta get health insurance has been a struggle. There's so much fraud that goes on in for free health insurance and stuff that they're really cracking down. And unfortunately, I was one of the people that rarely used health insurance before, but now when I actually need it, it's not there. So I'm gonna have to figure something out. I gotta get my teeth fixed. I got some other health issues that I need to address that have been neglected over the years. Sorry, brother Tommy, if I'm not keeping up with chat, but kind of stuck in traffic right now. Well, stop and go traffic, but that's typical. It's funny you bring that up. I was at Bible study the other morning, and we were talking about the spiritual disciplines. I don't have the book with me, but it was basically a book written on how to remain spiritually disciplined. And it's reading in scripture. A couple of the ones that stuck out with me is reading in scripture, service work. Fasting was one, but I'm trying to go in the opposite direction. Like, I've put on about 11 pounds since I moved out of where I was living at. And I'm continuing going on the up and up with that. Like, protein shake right here. I got a banana. My lunchbox is literally full of food. I just continuously eat all day to try to build myself back up physically. But there's also that spiritual hunger that needs to be quenched. Or that spiritual thirst, I should say, that needs to be quenched. Yeah, I can look back at the live and read them later. I haven't really gone back and watched my lives at all. But there's certain instances that stick out in my head where it was like, oh, okay. I've been journaling a lot. That was another spiritual discipline. But I do know fasting has its benefits. Like, if it's the whole, you gotta mix up what you're taking in to not remain complacent and get stagnant. So it's the same thing with the body. Like, I haven't really figured out a good program working out for myself. I'm just kind of not going through the motions, but I'm figuring out a program that'll work for me. Like, what was recommended to me by one of the people that work there at the gym. They have no personal trainers there, but what was recommended was one day you do push, another day you do pull, another day you could do lower legs and just do leg work and just kind of rotate through that. Well, I kind of tried to take that advice, but there's so much information out there that people will say, oh, you should do this when you're working out, you should do that. In all reality, it's just about showing up and actually doing the work. I try to do curls, arm curls with every single workout that I do. And I'm not at the point where I'm trying to like get a personal best for weightlifting or anything like that. I'm trying to build up my foundation in the form. So I don't really use free weights too often. I end up using the machines a lot because it's training the muscles that I neglected for so long and guiding me in the direction that I need to go. What's up, Rocky? Grand grinding, bro. You were on your way to the weight pile. I was leaving the weight pile, homie. Now I'm on the way to work. It's raining, but I'm smiling in the rain. We're gonna be dancing later. Hope all's well with you. But what was I just talking about? Oh, the program. So yeah, I don't really have a set program on how I'm trying to work out or anything like that. Like specifically today, I worked on shoulders and back, upper back. I was running a little late on my way to the gym, so I didn't have as much time as I would have liked, but I still went there, put in a good 45 minute workout, and where I'm at in my workout routine or workout journey, health journey, whatever you want to call it, I don't need that much time. An hour is ideal because I like to get on the treadmill and set that thing at a steep incline and just keep on climbing uphill. On nice days where I'm staying at, there's a whole bunch of trails that I can hike around and stuff that actually go up pretty steep hills and stuff. So I've been hiking like crazy. But it's the little steps of consistency in a forward direction that I'm noticing the most change with, and maintaining those maintaining like the food intake and stuff like that, and not going back to taking in crappy foods and whatnot. Like the other morning I stopped at Dunkin' Donuts and grabbed a sausage. I'm gonna puke if I like talking about this, but a sausage, egg, and cheese on a croissant. And it was before I went to the gym, and going to the gym after that, I felt like absolutely dog doo-doo because I've been putting all this healthy food into my body that my body was like, oh, what are you doing now putting this garbage into you, you know? And it just reiterates the fact that I'm doing the right thing 95% of the time. And then those 5% of the time when I put in a sausage, egg, and cheese on a croissant into my body, it's like, nope. My body instantly tells me like, nah, you don't need to do that. You don't need to do that anymore. What's up, June? Thank you for stopping by. Hello. Tommy, it's easier said than done, bro. Like having like I said earlier, having the lack of health insurance that I have right now and having the struggle with that, it's tough. Like I know that I did a lot of damage to my body over the years with what I had been doing, right? But there is a way to reverse it, and I think I'm on the path of reversing all that, and not only just surviving but trying to thrive, you know? The family I'm staying with, they are very health conscious, like health oriented, so I'm learning little by little on what I can do to better my gut health. You know the saying, trust your gut? For a long time, I couldn't trust my gut because my gut was in turmoil. Excuse me. As soon as I finish the bag of protein weight gainer that I'm on right now, I'm going to switch it up to a lower sugar one. Like I bought a big 10 or 20, whatever it is, 10-pound bag of like, what is it? Mass gain or something. I don't know. It's like 1,200 calories with 2 scoops. But it's got a whole bunch of added sugars in it, which I don't need. That sugar is so bad for you. And for me. And for everyone. But it's in so many of our foods that it's hard to get around. Like when I bought yogurt the other day at the store, it was 5 for $5 for Chobani yogurts. I looked on the back, it had 14 grams of sugar. 9 of those grams are added sugars, which is just unnatural preservative sugar. And the way that I treated my body over the years, I need to do the exact opposite of what I was doing and treat my body like a shrine and be conscious of what I put into it. It is. It really is. Like, I don't drink soda. I was never really a soda drinker. I didn't really ever have a sweet tooth or anything like that. And if y'all notice, the food that we consume as Americans is getting worse and like people are becoming more aware of how messed up the food is. But there's also, you can't really, in my opinion, trust the news sources that it's coming from. Like you'll see on all the major news stations. That's the thing, at the gym, when you're on the treadmill, that they have a wall of TVs, a whole bunch of different TVs. And I won't even be watching the TVs most of the time. Yeah, I'll look at and see what the weather's gonna do, but where I'm at in life, I don't need to know what's going on in the third world countries. I don't need to know what is happening, what Trump's up to and all that stuff. It doesn't affect me right now. Yes, it's good to know what sort of political turmoil on a general basis that we're in, but there's so much negativity and toxicity being thrown out into the public through these news stations, through television, that if it doesn't align with where I want to head in life, I don't want nothing to do with it. That's probably another reason why I've been reading so much lately. Is because that's one thing that I can control that can't be manipulated, like with AI technology. You can't manipulate a book with AI technology. You open up the page, the words are going to be the same. You might perceive the book a little bit different, like I do. Like I'll go back and read a book that I haven't read in a couple years, and I'll take a whole bunch of other stuff out of it that I hadn't taken before. I also think it's got a lot to do with putting fear into people and keeping people in a panic, the general public in a panic state. I'm finding the less that I let that outside influence of that they're trying to put into my head, panic, and that they're trying to put into everyone else's head, the less I let that influence me and the more I maintain my vision on my goals, the better off I am, and the better off the people that I surround myself are off. What's up, Alan, I think? Alani? Sorry if I butchered your name. Don't feel bad. Everyone gets my last name wrong. And then since my name is Bry, on my screen name, short for Brian. A lot of people will call me Bree, but I just straight up laugh and cheese about it. I mean, if we could go down the rabbit hole of topic of the discussion about creating panic and confusion in people. I heard recently on the news that males can have children. Like what? It's all in the design to create confusion and chaos. And the more that we stay grounded and not indulge in that confusion and chaos, the better off we will all be. Like, another thing I saw in the news that glanced at on the news this morning was they were talking about how marriage rates are down and how, generationally speaking, less and less people are getting married. All by design. By creating fear in people about the way that society is going. In turn, people are questioning whether they should get married, bring a child into this world, because so many people perceive this world to be messed up and beyond repair, which isn't the truth. Yes, we are not, things have changed in the past 20, 30 years quite a bit, but that doesn't mean we should stop mentoring the youth, bringing youth into this world, getting married, having relationships. You know what? Just look at what COVID did to everyone, how it isolated everyone and tried to rip people apart. And then it literally did, because families would argue over whether they should get the vaccine or not. It was designed to create more chaos. And the more we all rebel against that chaos and stay grounded, the better off we will all be. Because as Tommy always says, we are in this together. I'm going to be late to work. Mad traffic. I think things will get better sooner than later too. I've been practicing on my baby making. Just kidding. All in due time though. For real. This winter's been crazy though. I mean, the weather and whatnot, but I think that's something that's out of all our control. And like I said, it might be raining today, but I'm in a good mood. I ain't gonna ever let the weather get me down. Like, I went snowboarding a couple weeks ago up to Gunstock Mountain to stock up on knowledge. And it was like 65 degrees out. I was riding in a long sleeve t-shirt, kind of like this one. And at one point I fell, right? But it was a lot of man-made snow. And when I fell, my shirt came up. I got a huge scar. Look at, it's kind of healed up. But it was like all man-made snow, which was tiny little ice crystals. So as I slid, I scraped my arm pretty good. Kept on riding for the rest of the day, but it was just another lesson of falling and having to get back up. The husband of the couple who I'm staying with right now, he has a season pass up there, so he skis though. So I went up riding with him and one of his friends from church. I'll be right back. I gotta send a text to my boss real quick and let him know that the GPS is like climbing in time right now, so. We are back. We are back. I'm bummed out about being late. I don't know. There must have been an accident up here or something like that. Because originally, right when I left the gym, I was like, it said that I was going to be like 10 minutes early to work. And this whole time, it's just been stop and go traffic. People don't really know how to drive in the rain, I guess. Oh, speaking of driving, did y'all see that the diesel exhaust fluid sensors are no longer, they no longer have to be put into vehicles? Like, they're not even going to be a mandated thing anymore. Me driving a diesel truck, that's a very good thing. I was talking to someone the other day about the EPA regulations and all that stuff that the Biden administration put into fruition during his presidency. And I think the numbers on like how much better it would make the environment, like we literally put in like a 1 or 2% change by doing all that. Because if you look at other countries like China, Korea, any of these countries over there that have big Russia, that have big manufacturing facilities and whatnot, they don't care about the environment. They're polluting they're polluting the environment at such a rate that by the United States putting all these regulations on people, it really doesn't have an effect on the environment where we could reverse anything. Yes, it might slow it down, but like I said, by 1 or 2%. Which makes me think that it's just all due to control. I know I'll be good. I ain't worried about being late to work. Tommy, I've been listening to a pretty good podcast lately. It's called The World Within. There's a YouTube channel and a Spotify. I listen to them on Spotify, but it's called The World Within with Eddie Pinero is the guy's name. Very, very good podcast. I think he's been doing it for about 15 years, 13 years, somewhere around there. And I just discovered it about a month and a half ago, but he puts out almost daily content, and his mission when he started his podcast was to build momentum in people's lives as he went through this journey of building momentum in his life. You might like it if you want to check it out sometime. Very motivational. I listen to it almost every morning. Oh my gosh, that tea is hot. And that's another thing. I've been trying to cut out coffee. I may go to Bulletproof Coffee. I started drinking that a couple of years ago and kind of fell off from that, but it's like $20 for a regular bag of coffee, which is super expensive, but if the results are there, then it's well worth it. But I think in the next week or two, once we start getting up to the roof of the house that we're framing, I might pull out the GoPro and get some footage like I used to. We'll see. I gotta talk to the boss and see what he thinks about it. We started setting our I-joists yesterday for the second floor. But a lot of these houses, these big, huge houses that we're building or will be building, the owners want steel beams put in so that there's not as many walls or lolly columns in the basement and stuff. So a lot of these houses, they're putting in steel, and it's all got to be custom ordered and custom cut and stuff like that. So we were supposed to be getting a steel beam delivered today so we could finish off our second floor joists. But since it's raining today, we're going back to another job that we had kind of left unfinished so that we would still have work to go to if it rained. Yeah, definitely check it out, bro. I gotta clean my truck too eventually. You guys are gonna be... Yeah, look at... My back seat is just full. It's a mess back there. I haven't had time to clean it out. Well, I haven't made time to clean it out, I should say. Yesterday was a gorgeous day, but I had to go to BJ's Wholesale Club to go get diesel fuel because it's like 70 cents cheaper there than everywhere else. So that was a little bit out of the way. And then I had a couple other errands that were necessities to run yesterday. So by the time I got back to where I'm staying, it was like 5:30, 6 o'clock, took a shower, sat down to eat dinner, ate dinner, and I think I was asleep by like 8:30 last night. And then the alarm goes off. I set my alarm for normally 3 o'clock in the morning, but this morning I jumped it up to 4 and then hit the snooze button a couple times. I'm still kind of tired right now. But I'll live. Our work schedule is pretty cool with the new crew. We work Monday through Thursday, 7 to 4. And then Fridays, we work 7 till 1. And on this past Friday, there was like no traffic leaving Boston, which was awesome. It kind of gives you towards the end of the week, instead of the end of the week dragging on, it gives me something to look forward to get out early on a Friday. And then I believe Saturdays might be optional. Or I'd just have to talk to the boss, see if he wanted to work a Saturday. But one of the guys that I work with on the crew was saying when he first started working, he wanted to try to get a bunch of hours so he would Him and the boss were working half days on Saturday. But I want to be able to build up and save money so that I can, in turn, have a little bit of financial freedom to be able to help other people out. Instead of consuming, right? I know there's so many people out there that I would enjoy helping out with their carpentry skills and all that stuff that I have. Like, take Honeybee's Homestead, for instance. Like, I would be more than willing to go down and spend like a month or two just helping her husband out with whatever projects he has going on. Like, helping out them build up a chicken coop or something like that. I said from day one on this channel I would support people that supported me, and also support people that I saw doing the right thing. And I don't think that's ever changed. I mean, Tommy, you know I've tried to support you when I could. Well before New York had his little fundraising episode. What's up, Joey? Good morning, bro. Sorry, I wasn't even paying attention to comments. It is a real man's truck. I've just been live for almost 50 minutes now. I'm stuck in traffic on the way to work. Hit the gym already. I've been going to the gym every morning. Was kind of just talking about trying to maintain consistency with the little changes, you know? But I hope you're having a good day, bro. I know this struggle's been real. I've kind of caught a little bit of the wind of what you've been going through, and I pray that you can not let the noise in, bro. Like I was talking earlier to the chat about if it don't align with what goals I have that I want to accomplish in my life, I want nothing to do with it. Like I've changed up the music I listen to. I've changed up the food that I've been eating. I've quit smoking cigarettes. I kind of fall back every once in a while. I bummed one off of someone at work on Friday, but fall back. If I fall down, I'll get back up again. And it's just a reminder that, like, it's part of the reason why I go to the gym all the time was because I couldn't breathe anymore. So I try to spend at least 15 minutes to a half hour on the treadmill, walking before I'll be able to run. Don't let the noise in. That's the best advice that I could give myself and anyone else. Because there's always going to be people out there that are going to have an opinion or something negative to say, or even something positive. I think the negativity comes from people seeing other people making changes that are positive in their life and them wishing that, oh, good for them, I wish I could do that too. Well, that's all just self-deprecating talk. Which I was very guilty of doing to myself. I used to have that negative dialect in my head all the time, and it's a daily battle to keep that out. I was listening to Joyce Meyer's podcast a show from her yesterday morning, and it was titled "The Battle with How to Winning the Battle Within," and it was definitely relatable because I think for some of us that are meant for more in this world, it's an ongoing battle. I've come to the realization that I'm meant for more in this world than what I had been giving myself credit for. Hence why I was saved by the glory of Jesus, for real. Like, when I've had a few spiritual experiences in the past few years, and I would credit it, it's all glory. God literally told me, like, I will be with you every step of the way. Just give all glory to me who saved you. So that's what, as long as I keep that at the forefront of my mind and share the good word of why my transformation is taking place, and give credit where credit is due, I know I'll be all right. Good. I don't know if you noticed, I stepped back for quite a while too. Yeah. There's so much toxicity out there, and so many people that look at individuals that are willing to break fetters, right? And break those chains, that they wish they could do it themselves. They don't find the motivation to do it themselves. They'll try to pull others down to where they're at. It's not a coincidence that the individuals that support each other on here, came into contact with one another. And I firmly believe that. Like, Joey, you for instance, when I first, I think it was on Weevy's Live actually, that you even recognized me in the chat. And that wasn't there was no coincidence there. I think that was meant to happen. I know it was meant to happen. And I don't try to, oh yeah, construction. So that's why all the traffic, fuck. Anyways, I find motivation from other people that are doing the right thing. And in turn, I've been able to transform my perspective on what I want to accomplish in my life. And I feel like when other people are falling off, they can find motivation in what I'm doing. I said earlier that there were a few people that have told me in my everyday life and on here on YouTube that just with what I've been doing, I've brought them back into wanting to be more in touch with their scripture and with whatever religion they have going on. So what goes around comes around. My bad if I don't look at the chat too often. We're finally out of traffic and moving forward, and only 20 minutes late for work, but it is what it is. Thank you for that, Diesel Channel Explorers. I appreciate that. Shout out to all the diesel truck drivers. We no longer have to worry about the diesel exhaust fluid sensors. That's right. I remember now. But going back as to the whole having to step away from the toxicity here on the YouTube or even just social media in general. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do for your own benefit, to benefit the rest of the people that you surround yourself with. I had to literally step away from my environment that I was in. Not only just YouTube, but I literally had to move. my physical environment, to be able to better myself and challenge myself and see what my potential is. And I look at all that as by doing so, I will be able to help others. I'm reading a book right now that's called Surprise the World. Just started it recently, but what better thing to do than to surprise the world? Everyone loves an underdog story or a comeback story where someone was counted out by everyone, but yet by all odds defeats those odds. The podcast I was listening to, The World Within, it was an older episode I was listening to this morning, but he was talking about how so many people have limiting beliefs. Like, you look at statistics. He was talking about football players specifically, like what the chances are that someone becomes a professional athlete and becomes a professional football player. I look at it like, from my perspective, I can look at the statistics of how many people should remain clean after going through addiction. How many people relapse and end up passing away. By me not relapsing, and by me almost being done with methadone down to 8 milligrams this coming Saturday, I'm doing the thing and defying the odds. And it's just an affirmation of what can be done when you put your mind, body, and soul into something fully with no escape route. Having the escape route is something to fall back on. But when you have no other option but to get clean, and by clean I mean like quitting cigarettes, quitting whatever wasn't aligning with where I was meant to be in life. Anything is possible. Making room in traffic so that I can actually get over to the exit is possible. If any one of you have driven in Massachusetts, which I know a few of you probably have, it's absolutely insane. Eventually I would like to geographically relocate further away than where I already am and keep on going with that. But everyone's always in such a rush. I felt pressure for a long time, like I needed to get something done. Otherwise I would be, to put it bluntly, condemned. And at Bible study I was at this past weekend, a woman who has multiple MS and a whole bunch of health issues said something that was pretty profound to me. Not to me, but to the group that I took. She said something along the lines of, God will always have mercy. He's a patient God. And his plan trumps everyone else's plans, what your plans may be. So remain patient and know that you are on the right path. The transformation doesn't need to happen overnight. It's a lifelong decision. It's a lifelong process. 1% better every single day. Sometimes even 2-3% better every single day. But like I started this live off with, it's the consistency of the change in the right direction. All right, so there's a sign on the highway right now that says turn your headlights on. It's the law. Wipers on means turn your headlights on. I have a question. If you have Rain-X on your windshield and you don't have your wipers on but it's raining, do you still need to put your headlights on? I mean, if your wipers are not on, you shouldn't need to have your headlights on, right? There's ways around every little law. I never claimed to be a law-abiding citizen, but I think doing the next right thing does mean a lot. Holding myself accountable, holding others accountable. Not that I can hold anyone else accountable other than myself until I get to where I need to be, which is a lifelong process. All right, y'all. I'm about to pull up to the job site in the next 5 minutes. It is raining. I'm dancing in the rain today. We got inside work though. We were setting floor joists yesterday. I might stop filming again with the GoPro at work. I gotta talk to the boss, see what he thinks about that. But I would definitely do it different than what I had been doing in the past with uploading my work videos. I would probably just do a recording and then do a voiceover after so I could edit some of the stuff. But right now we're in the process of building an 8,500 square foot house. Excuse me. So, that being said, what day is today? Tuesday. I hope everybody has a terrific Tuesday. You got to make it a terrific Tuesday. Keep pushing forward. Maintain that positivity. I'm telling myself more of this than I'm telling y'all this, but don't let the negativity in. Don't let the noise in. And realize that anything is possible when you got God in your corner as your corner man. Tommy, I might be a rebel, but I'm no longer a rebel without a cause. I'm a rebel with quite the cause, I think. And y'all will see the effect. Have a blessed day, everyone. Much love.